Good morning, everyone. So, my name is Akash Sharma. As you can see, today Amrit is not here. He was having some technical issues. So, today I'll be starting the stream by introducing Sir. Today we have an amazing guest with us. If you are associated with any kind of Google developer related programs like DSC or GDG, you must be knowing him, or you must have heard his name at least. Today we have with us Mr. Biswajeet Mallik. He is the program manager for developer ecosystems at Google, and he has been the India lead for the developer relations programs like GDG, then developer student clubs, then Google developer experts, women tech makers, and Google cloud communities. So without wasting much time, I would like Sir to be here on the screen. Please welcome him with lots of hearts on the chat. Be here on
Hello,
the
sir.
screen.
Hi.
Please welcome him with lots of hearts on the chat.
Hello, hi.
Sir, I would request you
Be
if you
here
are
on
sir, if
Hi.
you're
Please
watching the stream on YouTube, you can close it.
Hello,
Sir,
hi.
yeah, the echo is gone. Actually, if you are using YouTube right now, so that audio is being transferred to the stream. Anyways, we can start now.
Cool. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir, sure. I can hear you.
Thank you for that introduction. I don't think I deserve it, but thank you. Uh, you can all see my screen, right?
1 second, sir. Yes.
Okay. And my lovely face. Yes. Amazing. Cool. Yeah, my name is Biswajeet. I think I have been at Google for close to 7 years now. Have worked in multiple teams like Google Maps. Previous to Google Maps, there was Google Ads, and I think for last 2 years I have been with developer relations team as a program manager. I have been looking at a few programs like GDG, DSC, GDE. These are the three programs that I primarily look at for India perspective. So for today, I think I wanted to talk to you about AppScript. I don't know how many of you use it or know about it, but I felt I have been a heavy AppScript user for last, I don't know, 5, 6 years now. I think when I started using it, it was not even like a very prominent external product. I loved it. I was using it. I think when I was in arts team. Then in my multiple day-to-day automation things and stuff like that, I have used it once in a while. So I think this might be a good opportunity for me to give that sort of knowledge and hopefully introduce a lot of you to AppScript. Cool. So I might be looking a little weird because I'm using another monitor to just see the screen, but should be fine. Uh, Before we start, I just hope all of you are like, okay. I think these are very unprecedented times. Nobody knew 2 months back how the situation will go into such sort of like gravity in a such short period of time, and nobody knows when this will end also. So hope you folks are okay. You folks are taking care of your parents, taking care of your relatives and friends and close ones. I mean, as human beings, we have this amazing ability of coming back from anything, and I bet on that attitude and that sort of behavior to come back from this sort of like pandemic and this sort of problem we are facing now. I know this will become a lot worse before it becomes before it becomes better. So just don't lose patience. Follow guidelines. Follow authorities. Uh, we might question them, but they know what they're doing. They obviously know a lot more than what we know. So it's very human to be frustrated. I get frustrated almost every day. This is my almost 2 months plus at work from home. I honestly like don't like staying at home, and my regular work involves a lot of travel, going and meeting a lot of developers like you in your colleges, in campuses, in different places, and so on. So this is a very strange thing. But yeah, like just keep calm, have patience. Hopefully, it will be over soon. I think I spoke about it. I belong to this team called Developer Relations team, and in the Developer Relations, we are another team called Developer Ecosystem. Our responsibility is to manage and also nurture ecosystems across the globe, and that I mean we do that by basically working with a lot of like community leaders across multiple regions. So these communities are very independently run communities. Their objective is basically they are interested in Google technology. They try to create a community and they try to discuss it and so on and so forth. This has been happening for a long time. This has been happening for more than 10 years now. So, and they have evolved into this kind of programs like, or names like GDG or Google Developer Groups, or DSC, Developer Student Clubs, which used to be called GSA, Google Student Ambassador, and so on. So I think this is organized by one of the DSCs in KIIT. I also belong to the same state. I studied in Bhubaneswar for a long time. I am from Bhubaneswar, so I have some of the affinity towards that city in general. My parents are still there. So yeah, I think just these are the different programs that we work with from a community perspective. GDG, Developer Student Clubs, Experts is another program which celebrates technical experts across multiple domains like web, Android, machine learning, cloud, and so on. We also run like an accelerator, which we do 2 batches of machine learning and AI startups every year. Last year, we ran the accelerator and basically mentored 20 startups for 6 months without, it's equity-free startups. It's just mentorship. We help them basically become better with Google technologies and guidance from Google engineers, product managers, and so on. Women Tech Maker is another program where we celebrate women, and basically the objective is to bring more women to tech and giving them more opportunities and platforms. For today, I think we are talking about AppScript, so let's dive in. I can't see the YouTube, but I would have, if it would have been like an in-person event, I would have asked to raise hands how many of you know about AppScript. Feel free to put it in YouTube live comments if it is on. I'm assuming, hello, Anshul. I'm assuming many of you might know or might not know, but I think hopefully this talk will give you different ideas how to think about AppScript and how to think about whether it can help me, or it can just like with few lines of code, with literally like few minutes of spending time, how can we use this to make our daily lives better and stuff like that. So today's agenda is like basically I will talk about what's AppScript, why is this useful. I will try to do 3 projects using AppScript, like different flavors of it. I will also ask you to think about what are the new projects that you can do, and would be very nice if I can hear. Sorry, I didn't know that I can see the live comments from here. Okay, cool, nice, thank you. And I think so. If you can think about different things different challenges that you are facing as a developer, as a student, as probably another solution maker, and probably AppScript can help you in some bits and pieces. Think about that while the talk is on. There is extensive amount of documentation available for AppScript from Google side. So I'll also take a look at all those documentation, tell you where to find help, how to find help, and stuff like that. And maybe for last couple of minutes, we can do a Q&A if you have any questions that I can answer. I hope I can answer most of the questions, but if I can't, I will probably get back to you. Without further ado, so what is AppScript? So it's a ECMA script. In general, let's just call, if you know JavaScript, you would be able to read and write AppScript. It's almost like very similar to JavaScript. It runs on the cloud. It's entirely serverless. The true concept of serverless actually. It's based on V8 engine, which is basically like a engine to run on web browsers created by Chrome and now open source. The types of AppScript is basically AppScript can be used to create like an add-on. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. My bad. Yeah, it can be used to be like an add-on on a G Suite document. It can be like in a web application, or it can be basically you create an event and then it can trigger the script. My bad, I'm feeling yeah. So either of these 3 things AppScript can accomplish. It can also create like standalone web applications, although it would not be pretty, but it can still do it. It is still that powerful. But let's say you have some database, something triggers some changes, and then based on that you want this script to run, it can easily do that. Cool. So let me. Why is this useful? I think I have told you before. Reduce the repetitive operations. It's the main thing. Like basically, it was primarily designed to like basically be add-on to G Suite. So let's say whoever is using this G Suite, the organizations and so on, if they want to get rid of some repetitive tasks and use this, this was initially designed to achieve that. But at the same time, as individual people, if you are using like other like products like spreadsheets, slides, Gmail, calendar, and so on, you can easily use AppScript to change and add or delete or edit anything on those all of those properties. It's very well integrated in Google's G Suite ecosystem. Some of the limitations, there are some quota limitations. So obviously, it can't run like huge applications which needs like longer quota because it runs on serverless. So it would be somebody has to pay for it, so it won't work. If you want, I think you can probably make it like a cloud applications and then basically add more quota to if you are looking at like using it in a bigger scale. Cool. So let's do a few projects. I have mostly put all these things on the screenshots, but I think I will go back to, I will switch between my slides, my, I think the spreadsheet and some of the codes that I have written for this talk. What are the prerequisites? I think just some, like some knowledge about JavaScript. If you read and write JavaScript, I think you would be able to get it. Some knowledge about I think I'm assuming most of you have idea about how to use spreadsheets, how to use emails and stuff like that, and a little bit of curiosity to find help whenever you can't find directly or you can't get it. That's like basically a general requirement to be a developer anyways. Cool. Okay, so the first project, this is the problem statement. I will give like probably 20 seconds to read. So, so this is what I think. This is what like is a sorry. Yeah. So so I graduated out of CIIT Bhubaneswar when I studied engineering. Then I went to IIM Indore, and what my MBA college do is that they do an alumni meet every year in different major cities. And I think my engineering college CET had started doing that I think a couple of years back also. So they invite alumni that say, okay, on this date we are doing the alumni meet in Bangalore, or on this date we are doing the alumni meet in Hyderabad, and so on, right? And what I have usually seen, they will send like one custom email, right? Hello, alumni. We are doing the alumni meet in these three cities. This is a table which will contain the date of the city, the name of the city, hotel, wherever we are doing it, and please come. That's it, right? It's good. I mean, it's okay, but it would be pretty nice if it becomes like more customized or more personalized, right? So that whenever an alumni actually reads it, he will feel it is actually sent to himself or herself, like some effort has been done. So it should probably read like, "Hello, Biswajeet. We are hope you're doing well. We are doing the alumni meet in Bangalore, where I am right now, on probably let's say 16th of September at let's say Hotel Taj or Vivanta or something like that, and we would love to see you there." So that's basically what I want to do, and let's see how we can do it. So, okay, first of all, we need to prepare the database, right? So this is a spreadsheet. I will go to the spreadsheet as well. So, but I just took a screenshot so that just to explain the concept, and after that I can go to the sheet and then execute it. So the different data points that I need is like basically email, first name, graduating batch, city where they are. Okay, so that I can send hello Biswajeet. Hope you are well. We are doing this in Bangalore, and I think where exactly those hotels and dates and all, that's basically more or less a few small table. So I don't want to add those information and make it a huge big table. So that information I have kept it separate. So basically, I just created this small spreadsheet and put this information, right? Step 2 is find out where to write the script, right? So if you go to tools, and then there is this thing called script editor. Hope you can see this. Once you click the script editor, you will come to a page like this. Obviously, this function or this code would not be there, but I just wanted to put this screenshot to show what is what, right? So at the top, this is called project title, which you can edit. Uh, I think after that, this is called menu. Under that, this is called taskbar, where you have options to save the script, where you can put like triggers on this clock sort of like icon. Then this display thing actually runs the script or runs the function. And then after that, this bug thing obviously would be debug, right? How to debug and see whether there is an error and something like that. On the left side, there is option to add multiple scripts. It's not only one script for this thing. You can add multiple scripts, and each script can talk to each other. Same as like JavaScript projects. And I think here is the editor where you actually write the script. So this is the first function that I wrote. Okay. So basically, function prep data. What I am doing is like spreadsheet app is the app. So now we are getting into how we are interacting with different spreadsheets or different G Suite elements using class and objects and methods. Okay. So spreadsheet app is the spreadsheet class. So it calls basically a method which is get active spreadsheet and gets the active spreadsheet. So get active spreadsheet is basically this script is linked to this spreadsheet only. So there are two types of scripts, and I will tell you more, I think, with another project. Either a script can be linked to a spreadsheet like this, or a script can be linked to nothing. Like this can be a generic script which can run across multiple other properties like email, calendar, different type of spreadsheets and stuff like that. In this case, this script is tied to the spreadsheet. So hence it is calling up the function that get active spreadsheet, which will basically bring this object of the get active spreadsheet to sheet. And then email sheet gets the whatever the sheet name is data, and I have changed it. So let me go back to my sheet to tell you more. Okay. So if you can see, let me zoom in. Okay. So this is my spreadsheet, and I will add some of the emails here. And if you feel free to send your email if you want to see whether you get this message at the end of it. On the live chat would not be possible, but I will put one or two emails of mine and one email of mine, and I will show you how it looks like. So okay, if you can see, this is email, first name, graduating university therein, and then basically I go to tools and then go to script editor. And script editor, I come here. Sometimes it will show that it's not safe. You have to click advanced and proceed to this. That might happen, so just do that. So what I'm doing is, this is the alumni data. So if you see, the name of the seat is called alumni data, right? So I'm using the same thing in alumni data, get seat by name. And then I'm taking like the last row. So I'm just using a logic to basically parse through from the first row till the last row. And in each row, if you see, let me go back to the sheet to show you. Sorry. So first column was email, second column was first name, third column was graduating batch, fourth column is the city they are in. Just remember this thing, right? I am just like taking those variables and putting it here. Email. So email sheet, you remember. So email sheet dot get range. So get range is another method for the sheet object. Then I'm just like calling the get range. So get range is basically the range, row and one. So basically the number, row number and column number, it takes as arguments. So in this case, I am when it runs for the first time, this loop, I'm asking for the row to take the second row, because the first row, you remember, it had the titles like the headers. So I don't want that. I just want the second row. So I'm just taking that number, and then the column is like first column. So taking that as email, then second column is name, third column is batch, fourth column is city. These are the four variables that I collected per row. Okay. Then what I do is like basically I have this thing pretty much static, so I just put it in like a JSON object. So date is basically key pair. So Hyderabad, we are doing it in 16 September. Bangalore, we are doing it on 18 September. Pune, we are doing it in 14 September. And hotel is Hyderabad Hotel Novotel, Bangalore Hotel Taj, Pune Hotel Vivanta, etc. And then I call another function which basically sends this email with these variables. All good? If you have any questions, let me know. So this is the second function that I'm calling, right? So here the send email, it takes all the variables that I sent in the previous email and eventually go to the last line. So let's go to the last line and then go back. Okay. So the last line is called Gmail app dot send email, and it takes a bunch of arguments and it sends the email. That's our last objective, right? So what are the arguments the Gmail app needs? Email. So basically, to whom we are sending the email to, what's the subject line should be. Third is basically what would be the content in that message, or what would be the message. Who are we sending it from? This is my personal email ID. And basically, if you want to CC anyone, you can also CC. Let's say you want to CC, I don't know, some professor or like the whoever is the professor who is like basically alumni com. I don't know, some like we used to have one of the professor aligned with each of these committees. So if you want to add those things, you can just do that. And each of these, for example, email can also take multiple emails. So right now I'm just sending to one alumni, but let's say there is another use case you want to send it to multiple emails. It can be just comma separated values of all the emails. Same with CC. So CC can also have comma separated values of all the emails. So if you can see, I have written subject is invitation annual alumni meet, in city is whatever the city name it will take. This is all JavaScript, so it will basically concatenate and put it in the subject as a string. So city on date is whatever date I think we put it from there, and please RSVP. So I'm just going back to the previous slide. If you remember, I think in the send email, this is pretty easy, right? Email name, batch, city is fine. So I'm using date, city, and hotel city. So once I find the city name from the spreadsheet, let's say for my column, for my row, it was Biswajeet, Bangalore, right? So it will take city is Bangalore, and it will find whatever the date is for that city. So it will pull the 18th September. Same for hotel for city. So hotel for city is hotel for Bangalore is Hotel Taj. So I will get an invite for Hotel Taj and 18th September. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so then I think this is CC email is same. I'm just like keeping myself. Then I write this message. So HTML, basically Gmail or any email client uses HTML format. So if you write it, I mean, if you can just without HTML you can write, it will be a bunch of text without any formatting. But you can also use HTML to do rich formatting, which I have done a little bit. So hello name, hope you are doing well. Then I'm just like some HTML tags. We are organizing the annual alumni meet on this date in your current city, the city name, at hotel, and would love to meet you. We are also expecting many from your graduating batch of, remember the batch name I had added, so it will say, we were also expecting many from your graduating batch of 2011 to attend. Please fill this short form to RSVP. Thank you, Alumni Committee KIIT. Okay, and that's it. Another thing I just wanted to show before I run this thing is there is this object called logger, which you can use whenever you want to debug something, like logger.log, whatever you want to see whether, if it doesn't send an email, you want to see whether this part has some problem. So you can just do logger.log message HTML, then it will, and I will show you how to go and see the logs so that you can debug in smaller pieces. And then I send this email. Then what you have to do is basically, as I said, you can use debugger to debug and test the script. This logger class has like basically it logs everything and shows wherever the error is. And then you go and run the script. So this is the button which has this like play sort of a button. You click this and it runs. Make sure I think the right function is called. So for example, here we should not call send email. We should call prep data because it prepares the data, then sends the email, right? So prepare data anyways calls send email. So we should select the right function and then click run, and it will run and it will send the emails. Let's see how this works. Okay. Cool. So I have this thing. Let me just put my email ID. I don't want to ask other people to give me their email ID because it might look weird. So let me. Do any of you want to see how the email looks like? If you can send, I can I can actually send it to you. No. Okay, Sayanath 235. Okay, sorry, don't give too much because this is also PII. So I'm just telling that I didn't. This is just for test, so we can just use these two ones. Gmail.com. Sayanath at the 235 at the rate gmail.com. Okay, and one more. Okay. Let's write the name. Let's say this guy's name is Sayanath, and I don't know what his name, so I'll just write this one is the name. Graduating batch, let's say all of you graduate in 2021, I'm hypothetically saying. All of you are in Bhubaneswar, and this guy is in Kotak. Okay, cool. So we are good to go. Let's see how this works. So I have this email already here. You can just use Command S or Control S to save this. There are like a lot of shortcuts available. So I had already explained you the. Let me just zoom in. You can see. Yeah, I've already explained you how the logic works, so I don't want to spend time on that. So let me just select the function is prep data and then run. Okay, cool. Let's see whether I get any email. So usually I'm showing you my email, which is weird, but see. Let me just. Okay. I don't know how to open this in a new window. Let me try. It's possible, but I don't remember. But yeah, anyways, let me zoom in and show you. Okay, this is better. So you can see, hello Biswajeet, hope you are doing well. We're organizing the alumni meet in 18 September. Remember, I had Bangalore on 18 September in your current city, Bangalore, at Hotel Taj, and would love to meet you. We are expecting graduating batch of 2011, which is my batch. Please fill this short form to RSVP. And at the top, the subject also has annual alumni meet in Bangalore on 18 September. Please RSVP. Okay, cool. Like super short. It probably takes 15 minutes to write this, and think about how this will be a better user experience for all the alumni which gets this email. And whenever someone receives like a personalized email, the chances of getting this or the chances of basically responding to it is much higher. And you can also continue the discussions if they reply to you. Let's say the email address is alumnicom@KIIT or something. They reply to you. You can also create another app script how to respond to them for some common questions and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So this is amazing. Let's go back to next project, which kind of will help some of the other things. So second project, this is my personal problem, and you are probably facing this, or will face whenever you will go to join a company and work, right? I get a lot of emails, like hundreds of emails almost every day, and many of the emails are just like meeting invitations. So whenever, let's say, Nikhil, who is my teammate, he schedules a meeting with me. I'm sorry, it just is one email. He thinks, okay, like maybe we can change the timing to something else. It's another email. Let's say we change the subject or the description of the email, the meeting to do something. It's another email. So I think, in my personal opinion, at least 10 to 20% of the emails that I get are also just meeting invitations, which is fine, which is useful for some time, but over time it just accumulates and becomes like a significant percentage. And many of us actually suffer from having 5,000 or 10,000 emails in our inbox, which makes it useless. And I like to keep my inbox tidy, basically a manageable number which I'm fine keeping my inbox in. So that number usually is like around 50. So at any point of time, if there are more than 50 emails, I don't like it. So it feels that I am not in control. So this is a project. So basically what we can do is like, we can clean or we can archive. We don't need to delete. You can decide to delete. We can archive all the emails which are calendars or which are meeting invitations and stuff like that after a week. So think about after a week, you are archiving all the emails which are just calendar notifications. You can think of this use case in many other things. You can think of like, okay, I am getting some specific for class or something, and I don't use that email again after this week, so I want to archive that. Once you archive an email, it doesn't get deleted. It's still there. You can search it, but it doesn't show in your inbox. It doesn't show in your yeah, on the face of the inbox. So this is an example of a script which is not tied to any spreadsheet, or this is not tied to any specific properties. So how to create such kind of spreads? So you go to this thing called script.google.com/home. When you go there, you will see this screen. They are just like looking at like basically changing or doing this material design of the interface. So some of you might not show it, some of you might. So and you go and click this thing called new project. It will ask you to basically give a name of the project, and once you do that, it will immediately come to the face of like basically. Let me show you. I think it's better if I show you. So okay, I have it somewhere. My projects. If I click new project, it just directly goes to here. Then you can write your name, delete, and then you can start writing the function. Okay. Saving project. This is a very small function that I wrote. I wrote it this morning because I thought, okay, I'll give another example how this can be useful. This doesn't exactly delete or archive the emails, but it goes to almost the last extent. I did not delete or archive because this is a good idea, but I haven't taken that step yet. Cool. So basically what it does is it retrieves the email at the first instance. So the Gmail app, remember, we used it to send email in the previous project. So it calls another object called get inbox threads. I'm just calling the first 50 threads because otherwise it will freeze and it will die, because if you have 5,000 or 10,000 messages or emails in your inbox, I don't think this has the quota to achieve that. So I'm just like calling the first 50, the last 50, sorry, the first 50, which is basically the most recent ones, just to see whether I can delete those entries which came in the last week or something. We can make it probably 100 or something. So 0 to 50, and then basically what I'm doing is I am collecting the subject line of the messages. So how to distinguish between a message, or sorry, a mail, from being it a calendar invitation email or non-calendar invitation email is the subject line. So what I found is most of the calendar subject lines have invitation in it. Okay. So in this case, what I am trying to do is I'm not looking at the calendar thing. I'm just looking at the emails that I sent, alumni meet. Let's say the same thing for you, whoever is sending this email, he wants to clean up all these emails from his inbox, so that like probably there are 2,000 alumni, so we send it to 2,000 alumni. I want to clean them up from my inbox. So all these emails had invitation in like this bracket, square bracket as the start of it, right? So what I'm trying to use is the JavaScript function called index of. So I'm saying if the subject line starts with this word called invitation with square bracket, show me those inboxes, show me those messages. Okay. And then I think I just have to write another line, delete those messages or archive those messages or move to that messages to something else, or you can label that messages to something else, whatever you want to do, right? I'm just switching back again. You see this? Okay, same thing, exact same thing. This I have already written. So remember, I tested a few of this thing, a few of these functions yesterday. So my inbox might have a couple of messages which had invitation in it. So let's just run this and see how it looks like. Okay, I run this. And remember, what is the resultant of this message? It just shows the message on my logs. I'm just trying to see whether it actually works or not, right? So how to see logs is go to view and then see logs, and or you can use control plus enter or command plus enter. If you see all the logs, see all the images that it retrieved which had invitation in it. Invitation, annual alumni meet in Bangalore, which I think I did it today. I did it probably sometime back. And this was something else I was trying to do yesterday. Invitation DevFest is almost here. Okay, I will share this. I will share the slides with you by the end of the talk. So feel free to try and feel free to do all the funny things that you want to do. But this is really interesting, and this is really I find fun playing with it. Cool. So, and then you can basically the next step is you can write another line, just like another line of code to basically do whatever you want to do with those messages, right? But you got those messages, you got the right and relevant messages. Yeah, this is how it looks like. It had another row now because I just sent another email just like 5 minutes back, and hence there are 3 rows. Okay, last project. This uses a different thing. So let's say I don't know how many of you use spreadsheets. I think spreadsheets and slides is like my 90% of my work every day, right? Many times I think all of us do recurring things on the same spreadsheet. Let's say, for example, hypothetically, when I was in the arts role, I have to convert, let's say, all the INR thing to USD. It's a very simple project, let's say. All the INR, all the rupees to USD on a real-time basis. But all of you know, the INR to USD conversion happens very real time. I think it depends on market forces and so on and so forth. So what is the exchange rate now in the morning might not be the same after 10 minutes or after an hour or 2 hours, something like that. So how can we bring that real time conversion rate into factor and change INR number to USD in a very simple manner, right? In a very simple manner for people who doesn't know how to code, who doesn't know how to run the script, who doesn't know where the script is, etc., etc. So they know spreadsheets. A lot of people know spreadsheets. They know how to use formula like max, mean, sum, and all those things, right? So their familiarity is with inbuilt functions, with Excel or with spreadsheet and so on and so forth. How can we use automation to bring those kind of abilities to inbuilt functions or to other functions which can be used just on the spreadsheet alone? So first of all, I'm just like putting a very simple spreadsheet. So this is what I want to achieve. There are 2 columns. On the first column, there is INR in currency. What is the Indian national rupees? And then the second column, I want to calculate what is the US dollar equivalent, right? 72,000, whatever, 1,40,000, whatever. And let's say I give this to someone who doesn't know how to script. I just have to tell him that you have to just use a function called to_USD, or it can be written better actually, to_USD, and it will convert the INR to USD. As simple as it is. And it will format also and show the dollar sign and everything. So in order to achieve this is called a custom function. So this to_USD is a custom function. It doesn't exist on spreadsheets now. Max means these are inbuilt. They exist. This doesn't exist. So you have to write the logic for this custom function. And this is what a mini functions that I was able to write. So and here I have to depend on some external numbers or factors, right? Like for example, I have to depend on what is the exchange rate. And so that's not a static table, or that's not a static value where I can pull in. So I am using this API.exchangerate API.io to basically fetch the real-time exchange rate whenever it runs. And then I'm just basically parsing it and then basically use this rate. Think about this rate, var result, json.parse this response. And then from the response, I am collecting from INR. So it basically, the response collects everything related to USD. And then on the rate, I parse it and I get the USD to INR conversion. And then basically, then I send, sorry, wait. Yeah, I should have sent this. I commented it out because I was debugging something. But yeah, just remove the comment and it should be the ideal thing. So return dollar plus rupee into a rate. So rupee, remember, rupee is the argument that we got. So whenever you are using a custom function, this is the argument. A2 becomes the argument. So here A2 is the rupee. So A2 into rate, whatever rate I got from this API. Okay. And I'm adding like a dollar sign so that it looks nice and it looks dollar. And that's it. This is how many? 3 or 4 line code. So how to use this? So basically someone, whoever one has to use it, like equal to USD A2 and it will change. More details are here. I think I'll share this spreadsheet anyway, so you can go and as I said, the extensive information is available on the documentation side. So this is a page which I have linked into the slide, which talks about everything related to custom functions in Google Sheets. So yeah, there is another way to do it also, just by recording a macro. I don't use it. I don't like it because it's not exactly. um, it doesn't it results in some random code which I have to clean up anyways. So rather than that, I think I would have better control over whatever the code I'm writing. Cool. So that's basically the end of my 3 projects. Some of the projects that you can try, or I was just thinking about what people can do. Let's say you are doing like a hackathon or some competition and you want to distribute e-certificates, which has their name and someone's signature and stuff like that. So you can use it. You can just create a certificate template and write a small app script, and basically it will create multiple of those copies with their names, with the specific fonts, take the signature, digital signature, and then basically send an email containing that file. It's a very easy to do. Let's say if you are like me, I create a lot of like untitled documents. So I start creating a document, and then I forgot to name it, and I'm just basically I don't use it anymore. So there are like probably hundreds and hundreds of untitled documents, slides, spreadsheets in my drive. Which might like basically contain some storages which I if I clear it out, I can use it in some other thing, right? So you can also write a app script function to basically clear or delete all files named untitled. Basically, let's say there are 3 or 4 of you. You are doing like a project, and you want to create some sort of like project tracker on a spreadsheet where everyone basically now we are all working from our home, right? Where we are not exactly meeting everyone. So if everyone updates on a regular basis, and then you will just write a script which can collect all of these things together with progress chat and everything, and basically sends an email to you and whoever is your project supervisor on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis. Delete junk emails. Let's say you figure out a format like I don't want emails from this people, like this spam thing or something specific. Then you want to delete it. You can write a script for it. Rest is your imagination. You can think about some more ideas how this can help you. But yeah, if it involves Gmail, spreadsheets, slides, documents, anything on for Google or G Suite umbrella, AppScript is amazing. I personally vouch for it. These are some of the resources. So this talk is available at bit.ly/AppScriptTalk. And then there is like these are the Google AppScript official guide, G Suite Dev official GitHub repo, and then there is book. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you. Sorry, I can't hear you. I think you're trying to say something probably.
Okay. Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. So, sir, we had one question by Abhishek. He says that is Google server used to send all the mails using AppScript?
I think so. Because it's mostly used like it's usually applicable in Gmail. So I don't know actually. I have never tried it. Can use across other type of email, but it usually uses Gmail. So I think yeah, and it's a serverless concept. So basically, you are using the data center and the compute functionality is available in Google's data center only because it's a project under that.
Okay, sir, I was thinking that why not use Google Sheets as a database for external apps or websites we build? We can like fetch the data using app script and
I
automate
mean,
that.
so yeah, I think if you are in like formative phases where you are not requiring, like thousands of lines of code, sorry, thousands of lines of data and thousands of lines of columns, I think it's fine. I mean, if you're just using like, let's say think about 1,000 rows and probably 5 or 6 columns, I think it can probably work brilliantly. But if when the scale happens bigger, then I think spreadsheet will fail because spreadsheet is not meant to be a database. So I mean, it's
Exactly.
meant to be a database for like a very small sort of size.
Actually, sir, this app script is pretty new for students right now. Like Google is using this, but for us, we are more attracted towards JavaScript and then recently Python. So this is a very new thing. I'm sure everyone who were there today with us, they will try this out. And so, what do you think? Will app script replace any current
No, no,
technology?
no, no, no. Yeah, no, no. Like, let's not sensationalize. AppScript is like basically it's a hack to do some of the things like this I mentioned. And no way this is like a replacement for JavaScript, right? And you can't write this. So you can't. So basically, AppScript. Think about like you're using JavaScript or some ECMA-based script inside the browser to basically do some tasks around this suite, right? That's it. That's the functionality. I don't think like you can replace it with like writing websites and stuff like that. No, no.
Okay. Sir, actually, there were many questions regarding how to get into Google. I'm
Ah,
sure
okay.
you must have heard it a lot. You must have been asked a lot. Can you share
Right.
some of your experiences?
Uh, I'm disappointed there are no questions about AppScript, but it's okay. How to get inside Google? I think it depends on what you want to do inside Google. So I am assuming most of you want to be developer or want to be software engineers, and my answer will basically reflect that. So if you want to be a software engineer, I think so Google has offices across the globe. We have 4 offices in India. We have a few product areas which also work do engineering work or engineering projects here in India. You just have to check career.google.com, and then basically you can apply to those roles. And initially, I think they screen your resumes, they screen your experience, and they basically get back to you if they want to go ahead and do like a screener round. And once I think you clear that round, then I think the recruiter will get back to you, basically saying, okay, there will be much more rounds, basically on interviews and stuff like that. And I think once you clear those interviews, you will get into Google. Then I think software engineering roles also vary in the kind of roles. So there might be roles for usually I think like I don't want to generalize this, but more or less we look at like how I think the coding quality and the coding speed. These are the two things we look at. So how better you can write codes, how optimized your codes are, and how faster you can write codes. So those are the two things that we usually look at. And I think the recruiting team finds out different avenues and reaches out to different people in order to do that. So there are sometimes also these puzzles or these challenges that sometimes shows on Google's homepage or somewhere else. You can solve them, and I think if they like it and they will get back to you, something like that. So I don't work with the recruiting team, to be honest, and I haven't hired a software engineer in my last 7 years, so don't have a lot of experience, to be honest. Little less experience on that. But yeah, that's basically the overall step.
So
To
we
what-
have this question. Is it possible
yes,
to?
yes, you can. So slides also work brilliantly with the app script. So let's say you want the data. Let me tell you a use case. So let's say in an organization, they want to basically, let's say the manager wants to report the weekly numbers to his manager. Okay, they have a spreadsheet which collects all these numbers on a weekly basis, which is probably linked to some sort of backend or whatever. So you can just like write a script which can basically every week it runs. You don't need to go and manually run itself. Sorry, I forgot to say this in the slides. There are triggers, so you can create a trigger, and the trigger can run on a regular basis, let's say daily or weekly. or the trigger can run on a basically when something is triggered. Let's say a new data is added or a new email is sent or something like that, right? So then it runs and basically pulls that data into a spread into the slide which is already shared with the higher management. So yeah, it's I have also done this sort of thing, so it's very possible. And PDF thing I also told you, so for example, let's say you are like building a certificate, you can convert it in PDF and share that with the people. Yep. Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, hello. Yes, sir. So that was amazing. Uh, so actually, right now, when you said that we can try this app script with some projects like mailing certificates, recently we finished with a hackathon at DSC. So what we have done is like automate used a Python script to generate the links and then mail it to the participants manually. Right now,
Mhm.
I think we can try using app script for that particular task. It will
Yeah,
make our life much easier.
I think so.
Like
Try and let
last
me know how it goes.
yeah, like last night I mailed around 24 certificates manually, so it was a very difficult task. Now I think I should try this and automate the task. Well, that was amazing, sir. We have Amrit here. He would like to say a few words and then we can close the stream.
Okay.
Okay, hello, Amrit.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir.
Hi, Avrit.
So it was a really great talk. Uh, uh, with your note, actually, I can. Should I pull your screen down so that? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that
sure.
better.
Please.
Yes, sir. So it was a really good talk. I'm really sorry. There was some current issues, and because of that, I could not join the stream directly. But Akash has been a brilliant host for us today, and it was actually, honestly, it was really good to know about AppScript. I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't be knowing about what AppScript was, and now, as Akash said, a lot of will be using AppScript in the near future. And
Cool.
uh,
Nice. That would be nice.
yes, sir. So, to all our viewers, I'd actually like to end on some rather interesting notes because I've met Sir around 2 years back, and Sir is a genuinely nice person, and he is obviously from our hometown, Odisha. People from KIIT, you know where Odisha is, where Bhubaneswar is. So Sir is from there only. Uh, and okay, I'll just show you something. Okay, I owe Sir my profile picture for 90% of the social media platforms that I have, because due to Sir, I was able to go and visit the Bangalore office of Google. Sir here was my host there, so I had a really great time there, and I had a really great time with you today, Sir. uh, I'm pretty sure all the users, all the viewers have incredible time as well. And on that note, Sir, would you like to have any final words before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, yeah, thank you. Thanks, Amrit. I remember it, and I think I took the picture, I guess. So, thank you so much for talking about it. I have been meaning to do this for a really long time. I haven't done. I think this is my first app script, to be honest.
Wow,
So,
sir, it was
thank you for
brilliant.
giving that opportunity. Um,
Sir,
I
I can
think
see a lot of people writing in comments that they love your TensorFlow T-shirt, sir.
yeah, this is basically the T-shirt which was given in the TensorFlow Roadshow last year in Bangalore.
um, Sir, actually, it was nice to have you with us, and I'll let the viewers know that without Sir, all the DSC chapters that we organize, that would not be possible, because Sir here is the program head for all
No,
the
no,
DSC.
no, no. These are
Yes.
like overstatements. So yeah, I mean, thank you so much for hosting this, and thanks for like doing this initiative. This is really helpful. I think I know that this. I mean, like I think Kit they produce amazing. You do this like on a bi-weekly basis or weekly basis? I don't remember.
Sir, actually, we were doing this on a webinar series kind of thing where we approach speakers and try them to talk, give a session on a channel. So this is around the seventh speaker. You are around seventh speaker, and we
Nice.
had a speaker last to last night as well. Uh,
Okay.
we're
Very
doing
nice.
it almost
This
for
is
the
really good.
serious manner. Yes, sir.
This is really good. Keep it up, and
Thank you,
thank you
sir.
so much. And take care, people. I think just like take care of yourself, take care of family,
Yes.
and also keep learning. This is a good time to basically invest some time in learning new things and stuff like that. So I wish you all the best. I
Thank
don't
you,
know
sir.
when your colleges and everything is going to open,
Yeah.
but take care. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Take care as well, sir. We'll love to have you someday physically with us, so to give out a session. So, um,
So, let's
okay,
hope.
sir. Can we do a virtual high five to wrap this up? Okay, sir. Virtual high five. So bye, guys. Bye, sir. We'd love to have you sometime physically as well. So.
Take care, people. Thank you. Bye.